studio in New York City, Cheesehead TV brings you two guys who like to think they know something about football.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to Packer Transplants Live. I am Aaron Nagler, and I am joined, as always, by Mr. Corey Banke, my partner here at Cheesehead TV. We are coming to you live from the LiveX studio in Midtown Manhattan, and we are ready to talk some Packers. What do we have on tap today, Corey?
Today, we look back at 13-3 from your Green Bay Packers and look ahead to the playoffs.
Playoffs?
But right now, it's time for the good, the bad, and the ugly. We got the good, we got
Mason Crosby.
we got the bad, we got
Aaron Rodgers.
we got the ugly, we got
The Green Bay Packers' efforts in Detroit this past Sunday. How are you, Corey?
whatever. Moving on.
But they got the W. Winning ugly all the way to the Super Bowl.
I had no doubt.
Never a doubt.
I never have doubts until the third quarter. If we're down by 2 in the third quarter, the doubts start to creep.
Oh, I love it.
It's the Detroit Lions.
It is
Who cares?
the Detroit Lions. Somebody said it right here. Where was it? Damn, it feels good to be back in the playoffs. Come on, Banke. Remember those
what?
2 seasons where we weren't in the playoffs?
Yes.
Oh, I don't ever want to
like-
deal with that again.
It's like that feeling that I get before training camp times 100. Like, this is my new
On
rule.
steroids.
I thought about this morning. Okay?
got new rules.
I got a new
Get
rule
new-
for you, Nagler.
New rules.
You're gonna love this.
all the time.
Okay, so you know how we have pre-camp?
We do, yes.
Okay,
Very specific rules for
we're
pre-camp.
in pre-playoff right now.
Pre-playoff. Pre-playoff. I love it. We went from pre-camp. That's all done now.
We've reset.
The past is prologue.
Reset.
It's pre-playoff.
We've reset, and we have a hierarchy. We know we're number 2.
2 wins away from the Super Bowl. One of those games is going to be played at Lambeau Field right across from you there.
I'm ready for that one. I'm ready to go to Wisconsin next week. I cannot wait. That was the. Can't wait.
I'll be here doing the watch party, so we will have a watch party for the playoff game.
We will
people.
have a watch party.
Watch party
With Packer
folks.
Man.
I might get a guest. We'll see.
You're gonna get a guest?
Maybe. Possibly.
Well, we know it's not gonna be Coach.
No. Well, Coach will be coaching, so it won't be
That
Coach.
would be funny.
But it might be Mike McCarthy.
Mike
No,
McCarthy.
that would be great, though.
Oh my God.
That'd be
Mike
hilarious.
McCarthy watch party for a playoff game.
Come on. If anyone can make it happen, it's Cheesehead TV.
You should make that happen.
I'll try. I will endeavor to do.
He likes you.
He does.
Plus, he might be coming to New York.
He's interviewing
He might need to.
for the Giants job tomorrow.
Yeah, he might-
literally tomorrow.
He might need to show him the sights and
I'll
sounds.
tell Pat Hanlon. Tell McCarthy to give us a call. Come over across the river.
That you could do the announcement on the watch
You
party.
could do it right here from LiveX Studios.
We'll do the press release for free.
I love it. I love it. Well, you know what? You know who hires and fires coaches this time of year? Teams that aren't in the playoffs.
That's right.
Yeah, we went through all that last year, kids. And now we're back. We're back in the playoffs. That is the lead in Packers news this week, Corey. Packers hosting divisional playoff game. Just feel that. Say that. Just say it out loud. Feel how it feels like flowing off your tongue.
Feels really good, and then you think about the fact that the likelihood is it's going to be the Saints.
Most likely.
Like just take a number out of the hat
yep.
now because I'm in pre-playoff mode.
Pre-playoffs.
I'm not gonna
Don't be
allow-
hating them on
I'm not
pre-playoff
gonna
mode
allow
here, Banke.
myself to go against the Game of Thrones wall that is the Saints, right? Arguably the only team in the NFL with more than 2 weapons.
Let me tell you something, Banke. I'll tell you, I don't even have a Saints preview here. You know why? Because it's not official that that's the matchup. But I'm here to tell
I'm
you.
speculating.
We'll do that next week.
I'm in
No, but I'm just
pre-playoff
telling you right now.
speculation.
I'm telling you something, Banke. Listen to me now and hear me later. I don't care who comes into Lambeau.
I agree.
The Packers are beating them.
I agree. Didn't you see my tweet?
Yes.
You actually retweeted it.
I did.
It was the only one you did this week.
It doesn't matter who comes into Lambeau. The Packers are beating them.
I agree. You know what's annoying though? People would be on Twitter on that tweet. There were like 2 or 3. There were like 2 or 3
Let's go,
people.
Banke!
They were like, "You lost to Philadelphia at Lambeau." I'm like,
Oh, yeah, on a non-called offensive pass interference and when Devontae Adams got hurt in the last drive. No kidding. Oh, and that was months ago. This team is totally different, built totally different. It's ready to win right now in Lambeau Field.
also, we've only lost like like not very many playoff games at Lambeau. 3. I was going to say 3 or 4.
Oh, 3 games this year. I don't care about past.
No. I'm talking about all-time playoffs at Lambeau. It's pretty damn.
Yeah,
It's pretty damn good.
kind of fell off there during the McCarthy years a little bit.
It did,
and the
but
Mike
it didn't
Sherman
fall
end
off
of the
that
Mike Sherman
much.
years. But
I mean, in 2007, technically, we hadn't lost an NFC Championship game at Lambeau.
until Mike lost one.
Till we
When he
lost
should
it.
have pulled Brett Favre, but he didn't. That'll haunt him for the rest of his life, probably.
I don't think it will.
Should have benched him at halftime. Should have put in Aaron Rodgers. Might have won.
Can you
Would
imagine?
have been amazing. Can I imagine? Yes, I
There's
can imagine.
no way
That
he would have
picture
ever done that.
That picture where all the dudes were open except for Donald Driver. Aaron Rodgers would have thrown to one of those dudes, not Donald Driver.
Dude, I don't even. Does anybody? You gotta have some major.
Honies.
You gotta believe. You gotta be a believer.
I mean, Ted and Mike kind of did when they stuck with Aaron when Brett wanted to come back. But, it's a whole other ball game when you're in the game and you have to say,
In the
Brett,
NFC Championship
sit down.
game
You're playing
at
like
Lambeau Field,
you're playing like garbage. You got to sit down.
the second coldest game in history, and you're gonna.
You were there.
No, I don't see that ever happen.
I don't either, but it would have been amazing. It would have been amazing.
I see it more likely that there's like 3,000 alternative realities where Brett Favre found the open man. And then there's another 3,000 realities where Jarrett Bush just fell on the ball.
All right.
Then we would have won the game because it would have been over, and
then
Brett
we
Favre wouldn't have had to worry.
Packers
about the
would have
open
ended
man.
the Patriots' perfect season instead of the Giants. All right, so let's move on. Packers news, Corey. Packers news. More Packers news.
Pre-playoffs.
Playoffs, baby. Raven Green is back.
Yay.
Do you even know who Raven Green is?
Nope. I had to look at who he was on Twitter. I saw all the tweets about it though.
Thank you.
I almost posted this. I almost posted.
Literally was one of the most important players on the defensive side of the ball the first 3 weeks before he got hurt. By the way, just so you know.
That was so long ago.
I know, right? It feels like a lifetime ago. That was like just after pre-camp
Engler,
mode.
I just produced a stream for 7 million people.
I'm
okay?
aware.
I can't even
I
remember
was
what I
there.
did 2 days ago.
I was there. I know.
Lord. No, I had to look on Twitter.
Raven Green.
That's what Twitter's good for.
It is.
I
Very,
saw.
very
I
good.
saw it refreshed my memory.
You read the post at
least I was
cheeseheadtv.com?
Yeah, I did. Well, I liked it. I read the first paragraph.
So Raven is back. My question here, he's practicing for the first time, blah, blah, blah. He could be activated for the game next Sunday. Which Raven Green are they going to get? Are they getting the guy who played those first 3 weeks? Because he was great, and he fit with the defense wonderfully, and I would love it. But you got to think there's a little bit of rust factor here, right? I mean, the guy's been sat down for months. I think there's a chance that they use him rotationally to begin with. And then, when they win that first game, because they're going to win, Corey, maybe they play him a little bit more in the NFC Championship game. And then a whole bunch in the Super Bowl where he makes a huge play, game changer, returns it to the house for a touchdown in the Super Bowl, and the Packers win. That's Raven Green coming back.
I'm ready. I'm ready for that.
But I would think this first game back, he'd probably be situational. That's just my hunch. Let's talk about the offense, shall we?
Yeah.
Everybody's favorite whipping boy this year, the Packers offense.
It's easy to whip it.
Let me tell you. I'm just gonna lay this out here. Aaron Rodgers, right now, is a little bit off. A little bit off. And I understand. Receivers got to catch the ball. Some of these things are thrown behind them. But if you hit them in the hands, you expect guys to catch it. I understand all that. Aaron Rodgers is a little bit off.
I don't know.
These last two
Coach,
games.
Okay.
These last two
Everybody's
games.
going to give shit about me, the whole Raven Green thing.
Little
unless
bit
I'm
off.
honest. But I did watch Coach's press conference today. Mm-hmm. And Coach was saying.
Yesterday.
No, today live.
Today?
There was one live today. I watched it. I watched it on my phone. It was live.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Think so.
Okay,
And
Coach.
I'm going to tell you one of the things that he talked about. I literally.
Yes, of course.
Coach had a
Go
press
ahead.
conference
Go ahead.
today.
Go ahead.
See how I tell you the truth about one thing, and then you don't think I'm telling you the truth about a thing I watched on my phone 3 hours ago to try to catch up on this show.
I don't think you did, but okay.
I watched it, and one of the things he said when you watch it back, now
Right.
that you're actually going to
Right.
watch it,
Right.
is he said that they were asking about MVS and they were asking about overthrows.
Right. Yes.
And he said one of the things they train the receivers to do on the longer passing routes
Right.
is to, before they turn around, to pump their arms.
Right.
Because what happens is, as a receiver turns around, he
lose
slows
speed,
down.
right.
Right? And so if they pump their arms, they'll keep going. And so he said, there were definitely times in the game last week where that was happening, where he was overthrowing, but also they weren't running their route to its fullest potential.
Sure. Well, that's one type of throw, though.
But I hear about the whole, like, Aaron Rodgers. Like, the thing is, like, the second half of that game, he was pretty ridiculous.
Yeah, well, definitely down the stretch when they needed him to be. And there's my point. This is what I said on the radio a little bit ago. Like, look, Aaron Rodgers has been off his last 2 weeks. I don't think anybody can watch these games and see some of these throws and say, okay, Al, roll this clip, because this is the one that really bugged the hell out of me. Notice, okay, see where the ball placement is? This is Tanyan on third down. Rodgers, it's a layup, and he puts it behind him, and it's incomplete. Look at the space out in front of him. Now, there is a safety just off camera, but he's doubling Devontae Adams. He's probably not peeling off and coming anywhere near this if Rodgers just puts it out in front of Tanyan rather than just behind him. And if you watch the clip, his feet, his rotation with his torso, etc., that's where you generate your power. He's not fundamentally sound. And if he were, throws like that wouldn't happen. So to me,
I agree, but Aaron Rodgers on
he's
a
not
bad
going to change
day,
anything.
Aaron Rodgers on a bad. This is the problem.
I
right?
agree.
Aaron Rodgers has a subpar day. He's still a top 10 quarterback in this league.
100%. 100%.
You saw it on Sunday.
And now here's the thing. Exactly. All they need him to do is have 3 or 4 plays a game.
And that's the difference.
It. And 2 or 3 of those are usually touchdowns.
And that's the difference with this built defense.
Correct.
And this built team, which it only
Aaron
took
Jones.
the beat writers of America
all year to figure it out.
All year to figure it out. And now everybody is like, oh, yeah, this team was built so you don't have to have that kind of offense.
You don't have to have Aaron Rodgers be
I
Superman
finally
every week.
reset my stupid brain. Dude, I can't tell you. I'm not going to name names. I know y'all love when I name names. But
They do.
I can make you a list right now of 6 beat writers, 6, who in the last 2 weeks have written an article about how Brian Gutekunst built this team so that Aaron Rodgers didn't have to be all of the things.
Right.
Duh!
Yeah.
We knew this.
We said that this summer. 100%. No question.
And so that changes but again, to not to belabor a point,
Right.
It changes the formula when you don't need one of the variables to come up with all of the things.
All the answers. Yeah. You don't need Aaron Rodgers to do
formula.
I know, I agree.
But the formula, everybody lives in this fantasy football world where you have to put up this number or you're having a subpar game
effective.
or you're not being effective. But no doubt in the first half, they
I mean, here's the thing, though. They could be a hell of a lot more efficient if, A, Rodgers hit the open guys, and B, if the open guys caught the ball.
Yes.
Like, that's
And
it. It's
just
just execution.
I would put B ahead of A in this always. Because
yeah, I guess if the ball gets there, catch it. But that throw to
me-
Tanyan is defensed because it's thrown behind him.
the quarterback has more than
That's
one
not-
job.
Nothing Tanyan can do
Quarterback
there.
has more than one job.
Of course.
Wide receiver,
You have 2 jobs. Catch the ball and block on the running plays. That's about it. Now,
Like,
obviously, it's a little more detailed than that.
No, it
but-
is more detailed, but think about it.
Those are your
Think
jobs.
about the reverse variable.
Those are
right?
your jobs, yeah.
A wide receiver's got to go, where do I fit in this play?
Right.
A quarterback's got to figure out where does everybody fit
Everything.
in this play and what is everybody's. So it's just like, catch the damn ball.
I know. I feel you.
Catch the ball, MVS. Catch the ball, please.
Hey, and he did on that shallow crosser in that final drive to set up the winning kick.
Well, and Coach said that in his press conference today too. He said that he still believes in MVS and he still believes that, and he still believes he has a lot of upside. And he's like, if he can just hang on to the ball, he's got the burners, as we've all seen.
As we have all seen. Elton Jenkins, the second-round pick for the Green Bay Packers this past April. PFF put up a great stat earlier today. I wanted to give him a shout-out. 100 plus, it was 500 insane number of snaps. 571 pass blocking snaps this season. The rookie did not allow a sack. Not one.
Wow.
That's your second-round pick, ladies and gentlemen. Now, obviously, doesn't mean he's going to be a 10-year Pro Bowl caliber type guard. I certainly hope that happens. But for his rookie year, that is pretty damn impressive. The way he has come in and absolutely owned the left guard spot after a couple of seasons in which it didn't look like they were ever going to be able to find a serviceable guard, let alone a couple of them. So shout out to Elton Jenkins, playing like a man possessed. And then talking about guys catching the football, guys developing, Alan Lazard. Can we give this kid all the praise in the world? He went from the Jacksonville Jaguars practice squad to the Green Bay Packers 53-man roster last year to camp competition with Shepard, losing out in said competition, getting cut, being put on the Packers practice squad, and now he's here.
Now
catching
he's the
touchdowns,
number 2 receiver.
and now catching touchdowns from Aaron Rodgers on the regular. I mean, I love this kid, and he is a beast in the running game.
It's crazy,
You watch
too,
him
because
blocking.
even in training camp, to your point, we thought Shepard was going to get, Shepard deserved to win the spot. And then there were many guys ahead of him from coming out of camp, for sure.
Yeah, well, he's almost not the forgotten man. I think most Packer fans who follow the team like we do, like day in, day out, anybody who's watching the show, I have zero doubt that our audience knew who Allen Lazard was, knew he was in the mix, but he certainly didn't generate a lot of buzz. You know, it wasn't like he was making one-handed catches, like crazy production in the preseason games. He just kind of kept his head down, kept trucking along, and now he's here, number 2 wideout, and looking damn good doing it.
Yep.
And I would only add, because I have to, if you would have traded for a wide receiver in the middle of the year when everybody was clamoring for a trade,
You wouldn't know what you have.
maybe Lazard doesn't develop into the kid you've got right now. Just food for thought. Just putting that out there.
It's hard. It's hard with wide receivers. I feel like in this league, until you've seen them in 13, until you've seen the whole season, and then you have the benefit of hindsight. It's
Then
really
you go
hard
back
to
down
see
and
where
break the
people
tape.
fit.
Yeah. I feel you. Switching over to the defensive side. Only took 17 weeks, but we got big play Blake Martinez in the house in Detroit. I mean, that's a horrible throw from the quarterback, but that is a big-time play for Martinez.
Everybody was like ready to cut Martinez before he made that play, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. During the game. We see, but this is where I talked about this earlier this year, how, Mike Pettin doesn't do him a ton of favors in that regard. I mean, you especially watch that game on Sunday. How many light boxes did he line up behind? 2, even one-man defensive line with you got Za'Darius doing the roaming thing, but they're up on his second level like that.
Yeah.
Centers, guards, and we know he can't disengage from those blocks. That's not who he is.
Yeah.
But he also is your now franchise record holder for most tackles in a season.
And is he number 1 now?
That's pretty, yeah.
Taking number 1 for the
Number
league?
1 all time.
No, for the league.
Oh, I don't know at the end of the regular
He was
season.
number 2.
He was like
He was
neck and
number
neck.
2 last
Yeah.
week, and I just didn't look at it before.
But he did set the record for most tackles in a season.
Nice.
By any Green Bay Packer. And now he's going to be a free agent. So thanks a lot, Blake. Thanks for the big play. Hope you make a few more of those in the playoffs, and then we'll see you. Thanks, kid. But hey, so you see those splash plays. Those are easy to talk about. Everyone notices them. I did want to give a shout out to Dean Lowry. Now, when he is used, because they have gone light along the defensive line on occasion, especially this past week, but Dean's play doesn't get a lot of hype. He's never going to put up big numbers. It's not who he is. But as a plugger, as a guy who is a very important part of their defensive line rotation, he has quietly been holding it down. Obviously, he had the big interception a couple weeks ago. That's going to get noticed. It's a great play.
It's penetration too,
and he had he batted down a ball the other day. He's made some plays that make you turn your head, but he has done such good work in the run game. Like, it's not chance or happenstance that has. I'm not going to say they've completely solved the run stopping stuff, but they have gotten so much better. The numbers have been so much better because but a lot of it is down to Dean Lowry raising his level of play. I wanted to give him a shout out. And finally, can we get some love for Za'Darius Smith for defensive player of the year?
I was about to say
Defensive player of the year? How is he not? Ryan Grant put it out there yesterday on Twitter. How is he not in the conversation, A, for every award, but B, especially for defensive player of the year? I mean, he gets doubled all the time. He's blowing stuff up, run, pass, doesn't matter.
Ridiculous.
People are keying on him. He went through 3 blocks on one play on Sunday and still affected the quarterback. Like, can we talk about this guy as a defensive player of the year? Look, I understand he probably won't win it. Probably be Chandler Jones or TJ Watt, and I understand that.
Yeah.
But can we at least get his name in the conversation? Packers fans, tweet about it. Yell about it. Tell your friends about it. Hell, tell rival fans about it, because he's not getting nearly the buzz he should be.
Well, I kind of feel like what's going to give him the buzz is going to be this run.
Right.
Because that is
Unfortunately,
where
those the votes are already going to be had.
I know.
You know,
but
that's
for
what
next
sucks,
year,
but I
What I'm
agree.
saying
I agree,
is,
yes.
is like
He's gonna burst
because
into national consciousness.
The true test of what he's doing right now,
Right.
Like let's call it the next level, the Michelin, the 2-star. Okay,
Right.
To really get to that level, you have to beat the best teams in the spotlight
On the biggest stage.
On the biggest stage. And when you do that and they're actually doubling you, like,
Right.
the obvious example is Reggie's,
Right.
2 back-to-back sacks in the Super
Super
Bowl
Bowl in the fourth quarter.
to close the game. It doesn't get any more clutch than that.
Get any bigger? Nope.
That's it.
Nope. But
So,
you make a couple of those types of
You make
plays.
those types of plays in the playoffs, and we
People
win
start talking about
games.
We'll start talking about it.
Huge.
Just saying. Give the man some love. All right, Al. You ready, buddy? Let's hit it.
This week in the Packer blogosphere.
That's right. It's This Week in the Packer blogosphere, the return of that venerable series. Corey, as is often the case when it comes to the Packer blogosphere, we are in the news.
Oh, yeah?
Cheesehead TV, myself, I will be appearing on a podcast. Now, I hear what you're saying. I know your first question. Your first question.
That just sounded like more cowbell guy. You just did like a that was like an impression.
What?
Like myself.
Myself? I don't know. No,
I was
I'm just
like,
saying. I'm very excited for this appearance. I'm on a podcast. I don't get
You're
asked
on a podcast?
I don't get asked on a lot of
What
podcasts.
podcast
Corey.
are you
I think
on?
most people listen to this podcast and go, "That guy's an asshole," and
What
they don't invite
podcast?
me on their podcast.
What podcast are you on?
I am going to be on the one and only Packcast with Grossi Bossy Nation. That's right. I
Tom
recorded
Grossi
it
in that?
this morning. This
Tom Grossi?
morning.
Who's Tom Grossi?
That would be Tom Grossi. He
is
says hello, by the way.
Oh yeah, I don't know who that is.
He's really anxious for a Madden rematch.
Okay.
Oh, all right.
No, the best thing he posted a picture of him and his wife in Packcast t-shirts.
Yeah.
And I was like on Twitter, and I was like, "Isn't your wife a Vikings fan?" And he was like, "Yeah, but it's a Packcast t-shirt."
It's
I'm
not
like,
a Packers shirt.
I'm like,
right?
okay. I sent him
does
like this
that work?
meme, and then he was like, I that's what I told her anyway. So I'm like, all right, well,
Hey, successful run there. But hey. Also, I want to take note of the shirt you're wearing.
oh yeah. So Nagler and I got sent these shirts from Richard in Slovakia.
I mean, this is crazy.
Dude, this
This
stuff is
crazy.
We got Slovakia Czech fan club. And check this out. Just for Nagler, they made this.
Amazing.
Nagler number 1.
Amazing.
I guess I can put it in the Y too. Nagler number 1.
Nagler 1. And then you've got Banky 1. There you go. As Aubrey, our head of production, said, wouldn't it have been great if they had made someone number 2? Like, that would have been bad.
Well, I
You would
told
have had-
Nagler,
fights.
I'm number 1, he's 1.5.
I'm 1.5. That's true.
But all the way from Slovakia.
I mean, this is crazy, right?
And Nagler actually met Richard.
I met him
in
across,
Green Bay.
like literally in that shot where you are, in front of the pro shop, because we were hanging out in the backyard, and he started yelling my name. So I went across the street.
Please don't do that.
Don't yell my name, people.
But it's pretty cool. Thanks for the shirts.
Thanks
really
for the shirts.
appreciate it.
Definitely.
If you're in Slovakia, I don't know where to find this fan club, but
You should check it out.
you should check it out.
But thank you for the t-shirts. It's very nice of you. Let's answer some chat questions, shall we?
Oh, yeah, we're going to answer some chat questions. So we're going to start with Uncultured Barbarian. Thank you for the many, many super chats. We're going to start with the one back.
Uncultured, by the way, you got a shout out from said Tom Grossi for being like the Don King of the Madden games, because apparently you've been pestering him so much about a possible rematch that he's now like he's just been worn down. He really wants to do it. So thank you.
All right, we can go to the graphics. Low-key MVP on Sunday. J.K. Scott not only punted like the weapon he is, but snagged the high snap as the placeholder on the winning field goal.
He did indeed, and his punts were magnificent on Sunday.
And then Uncultured again. When are we getting Aunt Gert back on the show? That's a really good question. Really good. Aunt Gert, she's about to have her birthday this weekend.
This weekend? Oh, that's
Yep.
right, January. That's right.
She has her birthday, her 95th birthday, I believe. 96, maybe.
My Olive will be having her.
95 or 96, and I'm a terrible nephew for not knowing which one, but It's really high, so
It's a lot.
it's
Over
gonna be
90.
Awesome. She's gonna have her party, so maybe I'll get some sound bites from her and
Oh, that's a good idea.
post some anchored sound bites
We need some Aunt Gert hot takes.
for the peoples. Need some hot takes. Chad Bartell, thanks for the super chat. Oh, I just accidentally pushed. Rogers hears all the chatter, critiques, and second guessing. He's had chip on his shoulder his whole career. I expect some surprises this playoff run.
Ooh, hope so. Just hit the open guy. That's all I ask.
Uncultured. Raven Green is back. Return of the Mac, baby.
Booyah.
Troy, thanks for the super chat. Tony Brown for Raven Green.
Yes, Tony Brown was cut.
Buck OCB 83 catching some transplants on Friday morning here in Victoria in Australia before I start preparing for conditions to worsen greatly. 113 degrees Fahrenheit and 60 mile per hour winds, and we are likely to be impacted by a major brush fire.
Well, stay safe.
Please stay safe.
And thanks for
Put that
watching
in there
Transplants.
because you're in Australia, but I'll stay safe, please. What do we got? Austria checking in. Greetings, huge Nagler fan.
Oh,
Walter Vota. Super chat from Nicholas Kane. Nicholas, thank you for a rookie. Elton Jenkins is an absolute stud.
He is indeed.
I agree. We
Say that five
talked
times
about
fast.
it. That was really hard. Uncultured Barbarian. I thought it would take Goot 3 years to turn over the roster. He's made great strides in 2. I also see him drafting a QB to develop this year.
I agree. Very much so. Don't forget, they were going to draft Drew Lock, and then Denver jumped up over them.
Justin Pinto on Facebook. Thanks for watching us on Facebook. Nervous about the next high-scoring offense facing the Pack. Sincerely, though.
Nope. I've told you, anybody in Lambeau, Packers are going to beat them. On the road, I can't make any such guarantees, but in Lambeau, they're going to win the game.
Okay. Nathan Krenz, super chat. Thank you. If you thought Rodgers threw a lot of incomplete passes, you should have seen me on New Year's. Playing hurt, a lot of year left. All right.
Amazing.
Nick Mora, thanks for the super chat. This is my first year having Corey and Nags fill the time in between games with their content and socials, and it's been great. Keep up the great content, fellows, and cheers to the playoffs.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Hey, speaking of cheers, if you want some cool pint glasses like this with all the jerseys from throughout the years,
Where'd we get that?
the Packers Pro Shop features these very glasses. Only place you can get them, and they're pretty fantastic. Highly recommended. Cheers.
There you go. Where'd I go? Andres Amaya, who thank you for the super chat.
Oh boy.
Andres actually made the Packer Blogosphere intro.
Oh really?
He's an amazing animator.
Oh, that's right.
I
Back in the
believe
day, I remember.
Yeah, he's in Canada.
That's amazing.
And he made
now
it.
he's super chatting.
He still use it, and now he's super chatting. So
It's like
he's
you're
giving us the money back.
Super chat for the shit I did.
How do you guys compare Zadarius' locker room impact with Charles Woodson's in 2010?
You know what's? It's crazy. It's strictly locker room now. I'm not talking about on the field, but strictly locker room. I think Zadarius has been a lot more impactful. Simply because of the fact that when Charles arrived, and obviously a lot's been written about in regards to McCarthy and Woodson not getting off to a great start. And, Woodson was there very much for the payday and kind of grew into a leadership role, although everyone knew obviously who he was. He was a huge star even then, even though his play had fallen off and there were rumors about his lack of, his bad work habits, etc. He grew into a leader, whereas Zadarius, he's been a leader since the day he arrived. Like the moment he arrived, he was all in, and you've seen guys rally to him, and
that's true.
And that's
once he got as soon as he showed up, he made his presence known.
Remember when he got signed, and then he was all like Instagramming his flight, and the people on the flight knew who he was, and blah blah blah, and he was like hugging Packers fans and like. And that's the fan side. But then as soon as he got to Green Bay, he was all in meeting his teammates, all in on social, like tagging guys, like Preston. When Preston News got announced, he was all about that, blah, blah, blah. Like instant. It's just been instant with Zadarius in a way that it wasn't quite with Charles. That's the difference to me.
That's true. And I just want to bring up if you guys follow, like, it was crazy. It's crazy now because of Instagram Live to follow all the players.
Oh, it's
so
great.
like,
So cool.
So like they came back from the flight and you see Zadarius going in GRB, and like what was funny is Kevin King, so you know the door from security,
Right.
You know how those doors are closed?
Yep.
So in Kevin King's Instagram, he's like, oh, they didn't even open this door. And then like there's like hundreds of people. But it was funny because in my head, I'm like, bro, that's the security door. Like they can't open the door there. You're not supposed to keep it open. It's supposed to be closed. But then that's just a little thing, right? But like I watched like 5 minutes of the same thing, but it was great. And in one of them, like it's like the executives and then coach and then seeing them from the fan. It's like, it's insane. It's insane.
So great. It's great.
Excuse me. Lucas Stahl, Happy New Year's, gent. Happy New Year, gents. Happy
Thanks
New
a
Year,
lot.
Lucas.
Thanks for checking it out.
Overshadow Sean, thanks for the super chat. Am I crazy to think AB84 could be another Bad Moon Rising signing to get us just one more weapon? I know there's no way, but...
The Packers trading for Odell Beckham Jr., as crazy and as unlikely as it is 10 times more likely to happen than this team signing Antonio Brown. That's all I'll say about that.
Okay. Where am I? Can't find my place. Okay. J-Rock, can you guys shed light on how Rodgers has been inaccurate but still only threw 4 picks?
Well, don't forget, there have been I won't say a bunch of, but there have been a number of dropped interceptions. Look no further than week 1. There are always going to be bounces that go your way, things that, and, to that point, 2 of Rodgers' interceptions, remember he was stuck on 2 for a long time, both of them had hit his receivers in their hands. Like the one he threw in Minnesota was the first kind of pure bad kind of throw read that he's had pretty much all year. There have been miscommunication throws where a receiver hasn't come back quite as far as he thought he was going to, and the defensive back has jumped in front of him and almost gotten a pick. But for the most part, it's because he is very smart with the football. And you can't dance around that. To me, it's not a question of, he should try. I know the rallying cry I often hear is, well, he needs to try and stick more throws in there. Like he needs to take more chances. He needs to throw more 50-50 balls.
That's BS.
I don't think that's the case. I think he just needs to get a little bit more accurate on the throws that are there because he's seeing them. Like that throw to Tanyan is a perfect example, but there are others as well. The one to MVS that MVS dropped at the beginning of the game is way behind us on his back hip. Like just throw take the layups. I mean, that's the worrying part for me is like, it'd be one thing if he's missing deep. Like, fine, those are deep shots. They're low percentage. I get that.
He's not.
I understand that's happening. But it's missing the layups that are like, what are you doing?
I said this last week, and I've said this all season. I really feel like that is a product of being in your head in a new offense. I really do.
Definitely parts
I really do.
I mean,
because
we are 17 weeks in now.
I understand, but Aaron Rodgers is the type of person as a perfectionist.
I get that.
He has to be at 13. If there's 13 things to do, he has to be at 13.
Right.
And if he's only at 10, he might be in his head, and he could be thinking about. It's almost like he's not playing at his game, right?
No, definitely. And there, obviously,
and I think he would even agree with that.
I think he would agree with that, and I think there's the obvious, the people he's playing with. The guys there are dropped receptions. There's no doubt about it. So that's got to put you in your head a little bit in regards to, well, if I throw it to Geronimo, is he going to catch it? If I throw it to MVS, is he going to catch it? Or you turn down that guy who's open because you're wondering if he's going to catch it.
It's a good point.
So
I don't know that he's made. I don't know. I don't know if it's a split second.
Exactly, and that's what I'm going to say. I don't think it's even a conscious thing, but it's got to play into it somehow. And it goes back to what Kurt Warner talked about a couple years ago when he talked about the lack of trust with the receivers that was evident in the film, where for so long you played with guys you did trust and you knew they were going to be where they're supposed to be, so you could let it rip. Like there were a number of throws on Sunday where he throws it before Devontae's out of his break because he knows Devontae's going to do what he's expecting him to do. The other guys, even Lazard, who's played well, he's not quite.
Well, there was that one play where Devontae went left and he thought he was going outside. He went inside.
Sometimes that's gonna happen because of the way you're reading coverage.
Yeah, they're both.
That's not a design.
Exactly. That's what they even said. It was like they could have been reading.
Like somebody read inside leverage, but it was actually outside, and blah blah blah, and they didn't read it the same way at the same time. But for the most part, I think that definitely plays into it. There's no question about it, especially for somebody who is as cerebral as Rodgers.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any question.
Joe on Facebook, Joe Hop, which player has improved, surprised most this season?
That's a good question. The most. I think Lazard is the obvious
I was just about to say Alan Lazard. Who else is there?
Well, Lazard's an obvious answer because of the fact that he got cut and then he got back on the squad.
When he's had the biggest game over Kumaro and Vitale.
He's had a big game, blah, blah, blah. But I'll say Billy Turner. You look at the way he started the season, it was rough. It was rough. And I'm not just talking week 1 when they all struggled in Chicago, but just that first month of the season, it was like, oh my gosh, they put a lot of money into this. But I tell you what, as the year has gone on, Billy Turner has played extremely well. So, yeah, Lazard I think is an obvious one, but I do want to give, in that conversation, I'd probably give Billy Turner a shout because the start was rough. It was very rough, but he's playing at a much higher level now.
All right. Reese, checking in from Wyoming. Please, Pack needs to go to the Super Bowl. There is nothing here. I just
love how it ended like he's in jail.
I just liked it. I was like, there's nothing.
There's nothing here.
Out my window at a Buffalo.
Wyoming. I need a Super Bowl in my life. Wait, what's that guy's name?
Reese.
Reese Virgin. Reese. The Super Bowl run is for you, buddy.
Kevin Gibson, thanks for the super chat. A couple spotted cows for you guys. Thanks for the great content and go Pet Go.
Hello.
This is not a spotted cow, but I will drink it in your honor.
Into that.
This is my first beer of the show. That's why I was so interested in pouring it, because the other was Gatorade. Jason Youngblood on Facebook.
Jason Youngblood, what's up?
I feel better about this season than 2014. Looking forward to the Super Bowl. Love watching y'all in Texas. Packer Transplant.
That's what I'm talking about.
Eric Sorensen on Facebook. Will the Packers have some trick plays for the playoffs? Ooh, some trickery.
I think
LaFleur's into trickery.
I wouldn't say trick plays, but I do think they'll get, they'll show a couple things that we haven't seen yet. But they're not going to run flea flickers or something. You know what I mean?
Okay, just so you guys know, I'm not talking about the draft and when I'm in pre-playoff mode. So that's the second thing. When you're in pre-playoff,
there is no draft.
There's no draft. There's no even regular season. You're in this area of life where everything is gold.
Everything is great.
Everything
you don't
is
play
new,
this weekend.
Everything is fresh.
Packers can't lose this weekend.
It's Lambeau's the next game.
Lambeau's the next game.
I mean, come on.
It's the playoffs.
Come on.
There's only a certain number of teams that still
about that.
Even have games to play, and the Packers are one of them.
Randy, I hope you're happy. I didn't put a segment in where I just bitch about something for 20 minutes, so that's for you. All right.
That should be
Midwestern Mary. I think we could actually win this Super Bowl. This is the first time since 2016 I feel like this. What?
We don't even what are we doing? We don't even need to have a show. Midwest Mary feels it. It's on. It's over.
Midwestern Mary.
Inscribe she's the Lombardi. It's done.
It's over.
Done. Packers won the Super Bowl.
Towel Killer 13, thanks for the super chat. People say we are the least deserving to win the bye. We maybe are, but we earned it. Love what you guys do. Go Pet Go.
Thank you. Don't listen to that nonsense. That's ridiculous.
That garbage. Bach Ronfield, were either of you surprised that Kumaro seemed to struggle in the Detroit game?
No, because that was the thing. I went back and watched it because I remember thinking it live. Obviously he got the offensive pass interference, which I found kind of adorable because that's a call that he gets because he's a quote-unquote nobody. But if that's Jordy Nelson, who used to do that all the time and never got called because he was Jordy Nelson, it's like it doesn't get called. So I don't think he struggled as much as maybe people want to, make it out to be. I do think I wanted to see more of him. Still a little too much Geronimo for my liking, but he was still a road grader in the run game, though. That's all I care about. Rock and roll.
All right. Chad Bartell, thanks for the super chat. Yay or nay, this is the most promising team since 2010.
Ooh, well, that pits it against the 2014 team. That's the question.
I think it's more promising because of Z.
I think so.
Z is the difference.
I do think, Z, it's funny because Z is kind of akin to what they did, the transition they made with Clay that year when they moved Clay from outside to inside. He was the rover in the middle.
Z is like 10 times better.
I think Z is a lot more effective. There's no doubt about that.
Clay got double teamed and got shut down.
Yeah, well, that's the difference.
Z gets double teamed
and he goes through
not
it.
Shut down.
That's the difference. And as it went on, Clay
triple teamed,
got single teamed and disappeared. But I think 2014 is the one team that comes close. But after that, I don't think there's any question.
All right, George Montellano. Thanks for the super chat. When is when is it time to see Sternberger get some targets from Rodgers?
Man, I would love to know.
That's a good question.
I would love for him to be active. I'd love for him to be on the field. I don't know. I just think for whatever reason, they have decided Tanyan's going to play regardless, and Sternberger is going to be like a in case of emergency break glass. I don't know, but I do know that when you look at the tape, when he does get to play, he's open. Now, Rodgers isn't looking for him, but he's open.
I mean, Tanyan is open.
Yeah, if Rodgers just throw it where he's.
I don't understand. I don't understand two things about this Packer offense, and I think everybody agrees with me. I've been saying it forever. I don't understand why we don't have a short passing game because I feel like that would just open our offense.
Well, they did for one drive, it worked.
For one drive. And I don't understand why we don't really try to force the ball to the tight ends more because I do feel like that will open up things. And they both kind of go hand in hand.
Right.
But it just, I know people hate on first down doing like a flat and then throwing it for 4 yards.
But that's as good as a run.
I just feel like it's going to work, and then they got to try to beat it.
Yardage.
And now you get there's a lot of times I don't understand.
I know, I agree.
All right, we're going to do one more. Joshua Green, Happy New Year's. Love you guys. For us to be winning ugly is scary. Just imagine we win the Super Bowl and we had the few needed pieces next season. Oh, sugar, honey, iced tea.
Yeah, it's the start of a dynasty. Lock it up. Anything else to add there, Benke?
I got nothing.
All right. That'll do it for this week's installment of Packer Transplants. Yes, it's a little truncated, but, it's a bye week, so got to get rested up, got to get ready. Corey's got your...
I got something for you, Nagler.
Got your G. Carry the G always throughout this bye week. That'll do it for this week's installment of Packer Transplants. We'd like to thank everyone who stopped by to chat some Packers with us. That's why Corey and I are here. We are, and will always be, devoted to Green Bay Packers fans worldwide.
Hey, Winston, I'm sorry. Where is the Winston that has given us illumination and information at past press conferences? Did we do something that you're down on us again? But this was last week it didn't go very well, and we want to talk about your guys, and I'm not quite sure what you want from us to make that happen.
I can't help you.